Hey everyone, how are you? Merry Christmas. Um, I'm excited again. This is Patty Jenkins with Fullness of His Glory and Richard Jenkins. We hope you're being blessed and enjoying this gorgeous day. And I want to share something with you right off the bat that happened to me this morning that I think will encourage you as well. Because my subject today is about peace, it's about calm, it's about assurance. And in a world where there's so much input that seems to be so negative, so pessimistic. There's so many things happening that just add to the whirlwind of confusion and chaos in our country right now. But we don't have to be unsettled, and we don't have to not have the peace of the Lord, because He is peace. He is within us, and He's broken down every wall of partition between the world and the enemy and everything that would try to separate us, because nothing can separate us from His love. Nothing can separate us from His peace. He who is peace lives within us. It's a season where we embrace that beautiful message of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because He came to this world to bring separation from evil and darkness to light, by bringing Himself as that package, wholly, completely able to slay the enemy of darkness and anything that would separate us from His peace. So what I want to say is this morning, I love how He does. He speaks through everything. And when we're looking for it and we need it so badly, He comes. And so this morning, on the heels of having had a day where I was literally being just subjected to a bit of turbulence, we'll say, hearing bad news from others, or news that was a little upsetting, with friends that have been diagnosed with COVID-19, with a son who was almost feeling like, oh gee, I've got COVID-19, and just other things. While that didn't really upset my peace, the turmoil and unrest from the media really bothered me. So I don't even listen to the media anymore. And add to that some other things that I had heard that were going on in Facebook, which as much as I love my Facebook friends, I am not one who spends a lot of time at all going through Facebook and looking and reading and everything, all that. I'd rather spend time in His lap. So, having prefaced what I'm going to share with you, my spirit got a little angst yesterday at the bearer, shall we say, of the reality of all of the turmoil in the world. And I got kind of angst. And the Lord, in His softness and His tenderness, rebuked me last night. And He used Proverbs 24:19. And I thought, yep, you're right about that one. In fact, I think I'll start with that one instead of this other scripture. It says, don't be angrily offended over evildoers, or be agitated by them. For the wicked have no life and no future. Their light of life will die out. And it was a reminder as He continued before I went to sleep that He's peace, and that I don't have to be separated from peace. And that since He lives within me, I can affect peace in my world. And I don't have to let everything else get on my nerves, unnerve me in any way, shape, or form. And as I went through the rest of the night, in His peace, in His rest, and waking up this morning, He seemed to put the icing on the cake with 5 doves that immediately flew to the backyard as soon as I looked out the kitchen window, as I was preparing to make some coffee. And I looked and I thought, Oh, that's so cool, Lord. Thank you. I haven't seen a lot of birds, and boom, all of a sudden you give me 5 doves. And to me, doves are the symbol of peace and so much more. At one time, years ago, he had told me he was working in me 3 birds, and one of them was the dove, and that was peace. And I watched these doves as they kind of waddled about and kind of got together, and they sat down. They plopped down on the side of the yard, but right in front of me, just about. I wasn't outside, but I was looking. And they sat down and they perched in just the way that they looked like a rock, motionless completely. My husband couldn't even detect where they were when I told him about it, and he tried to look outside. But there they sat, motionless, peace, unmovable, peace, sitting there, 5 doves, all grouped together, kind of here and there, and they really looked like a flock of rocks. One of them, 2 of them came later, but one of them went to the great big bird bath, and he sat there forever. For 2.5 hours, in fact, some of them are out there still. They just sat there. Doves. The rock of peace. This is what he gave me last night, and I'll share this with you. And Isaiah 32:16. Because I want you, as you turn there, if you have your word, or if you just want to listen, I want you to be encouraged that no matter what you're facing, our God of peace, like a rock, is here. And no matter what is happening around us, He is here. Not out there somewhere. I'm not searching for Him. He never changes. He's the same yesterday, today, and forever. And His peace and His calm is like a rock. And as those doves sat there, just soaking up the sun's rays, just unmovable and not a bit afraid, just sat there, just basking in His light, basking in His glory. Peace just transcended everything. And they have sat there and sat there. And they became a prophetic message to my soul for sure. And I thought, I have got to share how encouraging the Lord can be and will be for you this very day. Listen to this. Then justice will dwell in the wilderness. I'm starting with verse 16 in Isaiah 32. And righteousness will abide in the fertile field. I want you to know we are the fertile field. We can be that fertile field. And the work of righteousness will be peace. We tend to think of work as busily doing something, hurriedly, come on, we got to do it. But the work of righteousness will be peace. Why? Because peace lives within us. Peace has an imprint that it leaves behind. Peace has a work that it's doing that affects, not is infected. It affects everything around it, so that no matter what is happening, no matter what storm, clouds are mounting and rising up around us, no matter who is speaking their filth, or no matter who is speaking what seems to say, be moved from your rock of peace, from the grace, number 5 doves, 5, meaning grace, that He comes and He's like a rock unmovable in us, and nothing can move us from that spot unless we decide. We don't have to let them affect us, we affect them. So the work of righteousness is peace. And the service of righteousness, quietness and confidence forever. Quietness and confidence forever. In that spirit, no matter what you're facing, I pray that you will know beyond a shadow of doubt that the work that He has started in you, through you, to you, for you, will never stop. He is peace. And I love that it says right after that, then my people will live in a peaceful habitation and in secure dwellings and in undisturbed resting places. I'll stop there. Undisturbed. No matter what is happening, if COVID-19 is happening in your family and your church or whatever you're doing, we can know in whom we believe, and our gaze be so transfixed upon Him like the doves basking in the sunlight that we are unmoved. And the rest of the world can feel and sense wherever you go to work, and they can feel and sense peace emanating, so that we become the atmosphere changers around us instead of them changing us. But it takes a mindset and a heart set to say, you know what, I'm going to be a part of a solution that changes those around me. And instead of me becoming part of the problem by being angst at them, it should be the other way around. So no matter what Christians are facilitating theories of this or that COVID-19 doesn't exist, or that the election is all fraudulent, that you can't trust this, you can't trust that, who can you trust? Who can you trust that is like a rock, unmovable? We are to be a rock, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, in the faith of the Lord. If we can't be, where does the world have their hope and their faith? Where do they look? Do they look at the storm clouds rising and say, oh gosh, I'm scared, I'm afraid? Or do they look at the rock in front of them, you and me, and see peace so unmovable that they question and say, why are they so at peace? They never seem to be upset about anything. Because Jesus Christ, who is peace, not just the reason for this season, but the reason forever and ever, all eternity, in us and through us and to us and for them. We have to be the ones. And so I pray today that the peace of the living rock who gushes forth His river of life will come and dismantle every spirit of fear, every spirit of doubt, every spirit of mistrust, and yank up every spirit of vexation coming against your people. I break those strongholds. I break every single stronghold of the enemy, and I speak peace unmovable. I speak peace, Father. And I thank you for quenching the fiery darts of the wicked and for sending forth the rays of your sunlight, the rays of your healing, the rays of your resurrection power in the midst of what looks like chaos and confusion and even death. And I speak life. I speak resurrection, glory, and power. I pray today you will decide to walk in that resurrection power, because peace has an expression, and He wants to be that expression through you. God bless you. Have a great day.